All right, today we're going to talk about angles and what makes an angle and the different types of angles. But for starters, what actually is an angle? Well, an angle is two rays that meet at one single endpoint. And if I highlighted the straight line, there's a ray and there's a ray. So there's the two rays that meet at the one endpoint. This is an acute angle. There's one ray and one ray. So two rays that come together at one single endpoint makes an angle. And an obtuse angle, there's one ray and there's a ray. So two rays that come together. Now let's talk about the definition for each of these. A straight line, which is this one right here, measures exactly 180 degrees. An acute angle, and I always kind of like to talk about it being so cute, it's little and it's cute, is an angle that measures less than 90 degrees. An obtuse angle measures more than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. So that kind of starts our conversation about angles. So this would be an obtuse angle because it's more than 90 but less than 180. This would be an acute angle because it is less than 90 degrees. When you have this little box right here, and we've talked about this before, it is a right angle, or it's an angle that measures exactly 90 degrees. Sometimes it's called a right angle. Sometimes it's just called a 90-degree angle, but either way, it measures exactly 90 degrees. Sometimes you will hear talk about complementary angles, and complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. So this angle, which is 30 degrees, I'll get my green one, and this angle, which is 60 degrees, because added together they equal 90 degrees, I can say the green angle and the blue angle are complementary angles because they add up to 90 degrees. A straight line measures exactly 180 degrees. Oh, so let's look at this. We know that this whole angle right here is 90 degrees. And I know that if I highlight in red, that part is 35 degrees. And I know that this whole angle is 90 degrees, and I want to figure out what this little part right here is. If I were to highlight it in purple, if I wanted to know what that angle is, well, it would be 35 plus that angle has to equal 90 degrees. So to figure that out, I would use the opposite of addition is subtraction to get 55 degrees. So this angle plus this angle has to add up, in this case, to equal 90 degrees. And that's the way we can sometimes find out different angles. So we talked about complementary means to add up and equal 90. Supplementary angles are angles that add up to 180 degrees. So if I highlighted, we know that the whole straight line is 180 degrees. Well, if this part, I'm going to highlight if this little angle right there is 25 degrees, and I'm trying to figure out what this angle is, and I know altogether it's 180 degrees, so 25 degrees plus whatever angle X is has to equal 180 degrees. Well, I'm going to use subtraction to figure it out. 180 minus 25. So angle X would equal 155 degrees. If I look at the next angle, I know that this whole line, this whole angle is 180 degrees. If I know that this part is 80, then the Y part has to be 100 degrees. I can do that math in my head because 100 plus 80 gives me 180 degrees. So supplementary angles are angles that add up to equal 180 degrees.